approach a large monster that appears somewhat intelligent sitting before you in this hallway.
Okay, I want to figure out what that is.
Investigation check.
Okay, it's a crit or a 20.
Okay. So not only do you know that this is a demon devil, you also know that its name is Deldrion Didion Don Derek Den Dorida.
Yeah, I don't need to write that down. I can remember that.
Great, okay, because we're very good at D names here on Threshold Moonlight. Welcome to Threshold Moonlight, our D&D 5e podcast. My name is Matt, and I'll be your dungeon master for this adventure.
My name is Tom. I used to play Crest, but I'll be playing Darian, Derek, Dordrian, the demon. I'll be playing Crest.
Crushed it. That was exactly what I have written down here. That was so nerve-wracking to try and say all of those words at the same time in sequence. Yeah, so that's not a thing that's in this universe, thank goodness.
I think we should make like a plane where everything starts with a D.
So it's like the arrow dimension, but it's like the D dimension?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just called the dimension.
Dimension. Da dimension.
If you spend
We're from Chicago, so it works.
If you spend D4 hours there, you get dementia.
Anyway.
I'm waking up in a cave?
You're in a cave. There are two human men with you. You've dubbed them the losers.
I think we bonded over dwarf killing. So
okay. They may have introduced themselves. Their names are Magnus and Cole, just so you know.
Crest knows too.
I'm sorry, Dagnus and Dole.
Oh,
are their
right,
names.
right.
That's, of course, no. Magnus and Cole.
Definitively.
The human, Silver Crest soldiers who have accompanied you into the Mammoth Mountains.
Cole's my bro. Magnus, I don't really like him that much.
He heard you say losers.
Yeah, and he also got a little kind of wimpy. And I mean, Cole was the one critting and hitting max damage, and Magnus was bleeding. So,
perfect.
I was a bear.
You were a bear. So take it away. Waking up in the cave, I guess.
So I assume they're waking up, and I'm sitting there doing my morning prayers, and I've already tranced. And so I'm just kind of waiting, and I'm weird, so I'm just being quiet and waiting, and they kind of get up, and I'm like, you ready to go?
Every time that elves talk about trance, in my head, I just imagine a tiny rave with trance music. And
that's what it is. Actually,
anyway.
That's the secret religion of the Terra Totem.
Mike Merles has confirmed this. This is a fact.
I'd like to change my druidic focus to glow sticks.
Perfect. Only if you have two, and you can only cast when you're flinging them around in a figure eight.
That's right.
So, I'm sorry, you were being serious. What did you say to them?
Ready to go?
Aye.
Oh, right, they're Scottish.
They do have a little bit of an accent, and I almost said yes, but I saved it at the last second. Of course. We are certainly ready to go, sir. No, he says, aye.
I don't know where I'm going, so just show me where your men were lost.
We're going further into the caves. We lost them on an expedition to rescue some people.
What's going on in these caves where you're sending out men to rescue more men?
Have you ever seen a fae boy?
I know of them.
Imagine a tiny blue creature capable of scaring the strongest of soldiers. Now imagine 1,000 of them, followed up by giant monstrous beasts with deer antlers and horrible gaping chests. That should give you some idea.
Let's kill us some tiny blue creatures and get your men back. And so he's getting his backpack on or whatever, like his weird fur packs, and he's ready to go.
Okay, cool. You guys set off, heading into the caves. Magnus takes the lead, lights a torch, and sets off, following what appears to be some sort of map in his head.
I have some player questions.
Okay.
Are we deep underground as far as there's no light filtering in? I'm assuming he's lighting torches.
That's correct.
I have dark vision, so the torch is just giving me some color vision. What detect magic? I can do that as a ritual.
Okay.
This is DM's discretion. Am I able to do that kind of muttering as I walk, or if I do that, do you want me to stop?
I think you could do it as you're going. Otherwise, that'd be boring because you would just stop for 10 minutes.
So yeah, I'm gonna be muttering the incantation to detect magic as I go, and tracing things on my staff and maybe moving some moon seeds around and trying to get an idea of what's going on in these caves.
Okay.
Yeah, I can roll a con check if one of the guys is made uncomfortable and wants me to stop or whatever.
They're not uncomfortable, but they are going to try to talk to you. They're not necessarily super familiar with magic. And Cole is going to say to you, "What are you doing this far north, elf?"
My wife. She's been missing for quite some time. And I've got my only lead. Is that she's up here.
A wife lost in the Mammoth Mountains. Ha!
An elf wife at that.
This one might fit in well with the Silvercrest Circle, after all. What do you say, Magnus? Magnus just grunts as he continues leading the way.
So, yeah, in 10 minutes or so, if there is any traces of magic or whatever's going on there, I'm gonna see that. But otherwise, I'm content just to mutter to myself and walk along with my staff.
So the three of you are walking, and eventually, you turn a corner and you start to hear people. You have a 15 for passive perception?
Yeah.
Great. You start to hear the sounds of people speaking, and do you need line of sight for detect magic?
I assume so. Yeah, because it's one of the ones that gets blocked by it gets blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, or a thin sheet of lead.
Okay, perfect. So you don't. There's nothing popping up on your detect magic at this point, but the group of you wander your way into a very large cavern. And in this cavern, you see a group of 20 or so men similarly dressed to Magnus and Cole here. Clearly the missing company of Silvercrest soldiers. In addition to that, you see 30 or so assorted people, men, women, children, of both human and dwarf race, just mingling about in the same area. And they all seem to be sort of muttering to themselves quietly, looking a little crazed. And as soon as you set eyes on them, you see a cloud, almost like a Renaissance painting halo around each of their heads that's glowing with illusion magic.
Okay. Around their heads?
Around their heads.
And they're in the Silvercrest soldiers are in the lead?
Yes, Magnus is in front of you. Cole is sort of next to you. You're maybe 30 or 40 feet away from the nearest person.
But can they hear me if I just say, wait?
Yeah, they can certainly
so
hear you.
So I'm going to say, wait, there's something going on. Things might not be as they seem.
Spit it out, elf. What is it?
He's loud. There's some illusion magic going on up ahead. And Cress is, he's going to take his staff
Okay.
Vel does this cool bowl thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna
Not one of them fancy city elves.
I'm gonna trace what looks like a spiral in the air with my staff.
Okay.
And it's gonna make that cool thing that happens in a sink. You know that little like vortex at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's gonna like do that in the air, but it's only gonna be the magic. So all those halos are gonna like get sucked in if they are a 3rd level or lower. Other than that, okay. So if it's 3rd level or lower, it just gets sucked right into my dispel magic spell.
Is there like a limit on that?
Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target end. So I can only just choose. I can choose a magical effect, 1 creature or object. So I don't know if you want just. I mean, it says 1 magical effect, creature or object within 120 feet. So I don't know if that's just one of them, or if I just get to take all the illusion and put it into my little vortex.
I will say that this was one spell that was cast over all of them. And so you see each of these halos being sucked towards this vortex, and they sort of spiral down into oblivion, sort of like in Ghostbusters when they trap a ghost in the thing, and then there's just like puffs of light as the spells are ended, and the people all around snap back into consciousness, and they look around. All of them are terrified, but they seek out people that they seem to know and embrace, and look relieved.
Are there like 20 of them?
There's like 20 soldiers, and then like 30 or so. I think I said 30 or so people / dwarves.
So there's a ton of people here?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a very large amount of people here.
Are we just in a nondescript clearing, or is there like buildings or?
No, this is a nondescript clearing.
Okay. Okay, and then
it's a very large cave, but there's not anything of note besides stalagmites and stalactites and things of that nature, cavey stuff.
So after that happens, I'm gonna turn to them and go, "What's going on here?" I don't see
everyone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Well, mostly I'm saying it loud enough so people can hear it, but I'm gonna talk to Magnus and Cole and say, "I don't see any trace of Fae."
Do you have any idea what the Fae do, Elf?
I was trained by a master tracker, and I know they're creatures of deception, but I've never fought one.
Well, perhaps you won't fit in well with the Silvercrest Circle after all.
If you need me to kill things, I'll fit in well enough.
These men came out to rescue these people and fell under the spell of one of those monsters, same as the people they were trying to rescue. It makes you see things that aren't there, things that shouldn't be. Horrible visions you can't escape. Not something I'd wish for my worst enemy.
Cress is a little unnerved by this. He's remembering being in the labyrinth and all that, and he's thinking about Nidore, and he's just gonna say, "Okay," and he's gonna kind of lower his head.
Magnus is going to look around at the people that you guys seem to have just rescued, and he's going to say to himself, "This is why we fight. This is who we fight for."
So what's the plan? It's a lot of people to try and get back.
No plan. We simply take them home. These people have been through enough.
Can Cress? See, I rolled perception with a 10. That I'm looking around, something seems fishy to me.
What's the perception?
I rolled a 10. I rolled a 5, so it's a 10 active perception.
No, you don't. So you don't notice anything.
And so I'm gonna walk over to the people. Is there another entrance in the clearing?
There's several branches that shoot off.
So I'm walking down. I'm walking to one of those branches and just peering down at seeing if I can see anything.
No, you don't notice anything.
Cress is just suspicious in general.
Okay.
Because all these he's used to fighting something, and all these people, this charm thing isn't really. He's usually the charmer, if you know what I mean.
Is he? Is he really?
I mean, he ripped up that guy's book.
He throws daggers at people, calls them losers.
If a dagger wasn't just a D4, I would throw a dagger at everything.
If it was more or if it was less?
It depends on... Why can't it be both?
So as you're wandering around looking through the different tunnels and whatnot, the people begin gathering their things, what little they had with them, and making their way back from where you came. And since you said you were looking around, give me another perception check. Ooh, good luck.
23.
23.
Uh-huh.
It does not succeed. You don't see anything. With a 23, you're very close. So I will say that you sense something.
Things are getting creepier and creepier for
You
Cresta.
can't see. Is detect magic still up?
Yes. Unless I have to make a... It's not a concentration spell to dispel magic. So do I have to make any rolls?
No. You can if it's not a concentration, you can just cast them.
Okay.
As long as you don't take damage. Rock hits you in the head. Roll concentration.
Oh, no.
Okay. No, that doesn't happen. Instead, you see a shadow begin to emerge from one of the tunnels nearby to you. And it emerges coming out of this tunnel, growing larger and taller. It steps out into the open, and you can see this monstrous beast with enormous antlers and a chest that's just gaping open, ribs exposed, cloven hooves and claws, enormous claws.
There's always these weird moments where, like, Tom knows exactly what's going on, is all excited, but Cress has never seen it before, so he's just like, huh?
Yes. This, of course, is a sewer rat.
Yes, of course. I transform into a sewer rat, and I try to ask it out to dinner for a Lady and the Tramp moment.
You eat the spaghetti. The people see this monster and begin running. They run away. They're good 30 or 40 feet away from you by the time this thing popped out. What do you do?
I'm walking toward it slowly.
Stand your ground, huh?
I'm walking up to it, and I'm saying, "Get to safety." And
Okay.
I'm like, what do I got on me?
I don't know, a point of inspiration because you're sending those people away, and I don't have to do that accent anymore.
And is Cole and whatever, are they leaving too?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
ushering the people
I'm saying,
out.
get them out of here, and I'm walking up to this guy.
You guys bonded, and you had a moment. So as they leave, they pause as if they want to stay and help you, but they know their responsibility is to the people they came to save, and they run away, scared, and you are left there alone with this beastie. Roll initiative.
That is a 14.
Okay, you go first. So the monster standing before you, it's ready to go. It bares its claws and gnashes its teeth and stands before you, ready for battle.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So, what I want to do? I want to try to polymorph it, but it might ruin the whole fight.
Okay. What does polymorph do?
It turns it. If it fails the save, it's gonna turn into a beast of any challenge rating I want. Lower.
Any challenge rating you want. Oh,
lower
not
than
higher?
it. I can't go higher.
Okay, its CR is 79.
No, but I can just change it to a challenge CR0 if it fails.
No, you could choose to change it to a 78.
I could, but I would need a caterpillar cocoon in my bag of random shit. So,
do you have one of those?
I think he would, just because he's Cress and he has a bunch of nature crap in him, like in his stuff. But
okay. Okay, so it's what, a wisdom save?
Yes, it's a wisdom save, and I don't have to roll. Weird.
Okay.
Okay,
What's
so
the DC?
The DC is going to be 14.
Okay.
So Cress is going to reach in his component pouch, put a little caterpillar cocoon on his staff, and just blow on it, and then all this what looks like pollen is going to shoot out towards this large beast that it's a Wendigo.
Just call it a Wendigo.
It's going to shoot out towards the Wendigo and settle on it like dust. And if it fails the save, I have to choose what I'm going to turn it into.
What would you choose if it were to fail?
I'm going to choose something really small. Let me look at my options.
A Tarrasque? You turn it into a Tarrasque, and everything forever is destroyed.
I think I'm going to turn it into a goat.
A goat. Okay. The pollen lands on this monster, on its bluish tinted skin, and it drops to a knee, and you see its horns begin to shrink and the fur begin to turn white. And then the monster sort of flexes, shakes the pollen off, and springs back to its original form, and says to you in Sylvan, which you speak, right?
I do.
You okay, perfect. This is the Fey language, right? I didn't make that up?
No,
yeah.
it's I'm Telis Tenavare. Is that his name? Telis Tervinare taught me Sylvan as part of my tracker training.
Oh, cool. That's really cool. So, the monster before you says to you in Sylvan, "You'll have to do better than that."
That's kind of creepy. And Cress says, "You had your chance to be a goat. Now you're just gonna be a dead beast."
The dead beast?
Yep.
Did that sound cooler in your head?
Yep. Yeah, because I was gonna say something like a dead Wendigo, but he doesn't know it's a Wendigo, so
That's true.
It's just a dead.
Could have lived as a goat.
Now you're gonna be goat shit.
Die as a monster. So the Wendigo is going to charge forward towards you, sort of like dragging its enormous clawed hands on the ground. Pieces of rock go flying up, and as it comes closer to you, it swings both of the claws up towards you in a sweeping motion. Does a 16 versus AC hit?
It does.
Okay. I have actually never rolled this dice in...
Is it a 12?
It's a D12.
Yeah, they're rare.
So that is going to be 13 slashing damage.
That didn't do enough damage. 13. Jesus.
I rolled rather high, unfortunately. So you also need to make a strength check at this point.
You know, if I was a goat, I'd automatically pass. 16?
16?
Yeah.
You are now grappled as this monster pierces through your body with some of its pointed fingers, holding you in place. And that's the end of its turn.
Okay, what do I want to do? I'm grappled, huh? This worked out so poorly last time. But I think I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
I dropped the spell magic when he walked out, by the way.
Good, because we didn't make you roll the con check just now.
I thought about rolling it, but I was like, I don't really want it up anyway. So
Perfect. Also, polymorph is a concentration spell.
I know that. So is like, if you look at the druid spell sheet, it should just be called the concentration sheet, by the way.
Your focus needs more focus.
I'll Thunderwave myself.
Okay.
So, I'm grappled, so I reach in and I crack a twig inside my component pouch, so casting it dead center on myself. He needs to make a con save.
Bummer. He rolled a 20, so that's a 21.
I passed it too with a 16, so we both passed, so we're both going to take half damage to this.
Okay.
Casting this is normal level spell. I know what happens when I use higher levels. It was bad last time. That's a D10. I'm cheating. Okay. So
Cheater.
that is 12 damage, so 6 damage.
Okay. No one sent flying, right? And it doesn't end.
Yeah.
So you're still grappled.
I'm still grappled. I was going to try and send us 10 feet in either direction. Really, I just did 6 damage to both of us. It was really loud, and anything that wasn't like held down, like rocks and pebbles, would go shooting out. So the big thunderclap happens. All these, it's kind of like the Neo and Agent Smith moment where all the water goes flying out, but it's just like dust and rocks just go all around us, and we're just still there grappled.
Yeah, he's still holding on to you, piercing.
He's not going to eat me, is he?
No, he can't do that.
It's not a swallow demon devil?
Swallow demon devil. Named Deldrion, Didion, Donderic, Dor.
My arch nemesis. My arch foe. I can't get a D. Duke.
The bad guy. So I am going to go ahead and say that this monster is going to try to chuck you across this room. So
can I make a deck save to not be chucked? Or is
no,
that cheating?
that would break the grapple. I will let you make the deck save to land on your feet.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We will see what the strength check gets him as for how hard he throws you.
I got a 10.
No, you're going to land prone. You're going to take some damage, some bludgeoning damage, as he throws you across the room. We'll say that seems good to me. That's going to be 7 bludgeoning damage as you maybe slam into a stalagmite. Yes. And flop down to the ground prone. 20 feet or so away from this monster.
Okay. How? I'm 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man, I really wish that we had like live music right now. Like,
I can sing.
Well, there's going to be music on in the recording, so we just sound like crazy people right now. But it would be. So
I really
much
wish
cooler.
there was music.
That's going to be really bad when it's played.
Yeah, we probably should cut this whole part out.
Yeah. So your turn is now, and you're prone on the ground of this cave.
And I'm 10 feet away.
20.
I'm 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm. He chucked a butt good.
Okay. So I'm going to turn into a tiger on the ground.
You're a tiger.
So you see me. I've landed on the ground. And
I think I've done that every time.
Before I get up, all this fur starts coming out, and then I use half of my movement, which is 20 feet, to get up.
Okay.
And the other half movement, I floor it at him. He has to make a DC 13 strength save.
He fails with a 10.
So now I'm pouncing him. So he's knocked prone, and I can bite and claw him.
Okay, cool.
Because he's prone, so these are going to be a 10 to hit. Both are 10 to hit. Wow.
Both miss.
Wait, do I get advantage then?
If he's prone, you get advantage on the prone attack. Don't you have to hit with the first one to do the knock prone, though?
And hits it with its claw attack. Okay, so I just don't pounce him then. Yeah, you're right. So I try to pounce him, and I just pounce near him and miss, and now I'm just a tiger right next to him.
He's not going to take too kindly to that. He is going to attempt to cast a spell on you at this point. He reaches forward with one of his disgusting, enormous clawed hands and sort of opens it really wide And then he flexes the fingers and shoots forward a spectral hand, a blue spectral hand that rockets towards you. So that is going to be an 11 versus AC.
It misses.
That's lucky for you. Great. So the cold, icy grip of this spectral hand passes through your tiger form, not harming you, and it's your turn again.
Am I within his melee striking distance?
Yes, I'll say. Well, do you want to be? Did you maybe bound past him when you missed the...
I bound past him, but I only had enough movement to get basically within his distance, so unless he moved,
no,
I'm probably there. Okay, so I'm going to take
so
an
you should have rolled at a disadvantage. Okay.
I'm going to take an opportunity attack as the tiger bounds around to try and pounce him again.
10 versus AC.
It misses.
Okay.
So again, I'm going to try to hit with a 23 versus AC.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So this time he has to make a DC.
What is it, a dex, you said?
Strength, DC 13.
That's a 10.
So he does get knocked prone, for real.
For reals.
A hit with the claw attack. The claw attack does... The way they phrase this is really hard to do in order. 11 damage with the claws, and that knocks him prone. Then I roll at advantage for the bite with a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It's 4 damage on the bite.
Okay.
And I am...
Great.
I've knocked him prone. I'm not grappling him or anything. I'm just there.
Cool. The monster, on its turn, is going to stand up and reach out, sort of like in a Darth Vader grip, with its clawed fingers. And I need you to make a wisdom save.
Okay, I'm actually good at those, even as a... Oh my god. It's a 7.
A 7?
That's my
Hooray!
minimum. That's the minimum I can roll.
So, you are now paralyzed as you feel a familiar sensation wrap around you, similar to what you experienced in the Cruor Potentia jungle area, as this monster grips you, and it simply walks away after attacking you, and retreats to the shadows, hiding behind a large stalagmite. Yes. And then you're actually released from this paralysis, and it's back to you.
So it walked into the shadows?
Mm-hmm. It can't technically make the hide action, so you know exactly where it is. So you could probably just walk up and find it.
I'm going to untiger myself.
Okay.
And...
It is 40 feet away from you, by the way.
I get to do that as a bonus action, because I'm cool. And then I'm going to run 10 feet toward it, yelling, in Sylvan, "Coward!" And I am going to... I can just produce flame and chuck it as just one action.
Yep.
Okay, so I am going to produce flame, which is going to cast light. It just doesn't really help me, but whatever. It's just what I would do. And I'm going to chuck the flame at him in his direction. I don't know if he has cover or some sort, but that's a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I throw a fireball at him, trying to hit him, and I roll 2 damage.
Not the best.
I just rolling a lot of 1s. I don't even I can't find my other D8s to, cast this dice into Shame Valley.
Set it on fire. So that's your whole turn?
It'll only do 2 damage. It won't even hurt the die.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's it. So I've yelled "coward" at him in Sylvan and thrown a fireball at him. It's green. and cool looking.
Perfect. So, the Wendigo steps out from the shadows, and your fireball, it sort of like bats to the side with one hand, and then it flexes its fingers towards you again as it shoots that same spectral blue hand out towards you, which makes its way over for a 22 versus AC.
That might hit.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah. I don't have my full plate +3 with a shield yet.
Dealing you a total of 10 necrotic damage. In addition,
I can't regenerate. I don't know if it means I can't cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Yeah, no, you can't regain hit points until the start of the creature's next turn. So this turn you cannot regain HPs.
That's actually what I was going to do.
It read your mind.
There's a Fae.
It did not read your mind, just to be clear.
Get out of my head. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Give me a second, because I haven't been marking down my spell slots, so I want to make sure that I'm not cheating. Mm-hmm. Okay, as a 3rd level spell, again, I am going to Thunderwave again. This time aiming it directly at him, so it's a con save.
Is the con save 14?
He just makes it.
No, it's 14, right?
Oh, the DC's 14, yeah.
Yeah, no, he only rolled a 13. I thought
he
had more con than that.
Make it.
All the damages.
Still rolling low, though. 8 damage, and...
Seriously? Okay.
I mean, yeah. I'm rolling so low. And
Bummer.
He gets pushed 10 feet away.
Okay. So he's again 40 feet away from you. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'll hold my ground and again call him a coward. But I'm like swearing in Sylvan at him.
Oh,
and
snap.
Calling him like a little bitch.
It's getting serious up in here. Okay, so the monster does not take kindly to this goading, and it charges you, running full speed towards you, brandishing its claws. It pierces them into your chest again for a 19 versus AC.
It's gonna hit.
So that's going to deal you another 11 slashing damage. And you need to make a strength check.
Oh boy. Got a 20.
Okay. You're not grappled this time. You managed to shove your way off of this monster's pointed fingers and land on the ground at its feet, and now it's your turn again.
Am I prone?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm on my knee, and I have a piece of, I reach in and get a leaf of sumac that grows into a green sword, and then I strike, like I uppercut him with the sword. That is a 20 to hit.
Hit.
And maybe I'll roll high this time.
Big money, no whammies.
10 damage.
Okay.
10 fire damage. And
Great.
I'm going to roll... I was trying to roll a survival check for 6 to see if fire is effective against him.
You can't tell.
Okay.
You do notice that opens up a good wound, and he's started to bleed, though. And
Oh, I have also started to bleed after he shoved his claws into me that time.
okay, so is that a bonus action and your action?
Yeah, it's a bonus action to summon the blade and then an action to attack.
Are you going to move away from this thing, or are you staying right there?
I'll stay right there.
So you are right next to this thing, and it looks pissed. It begins grumbling.
Chris is regretting his goading a little bit.
It stands up to its full height. It's
looking
clearly
up at it like...
it's much, much taller than you. It flexes its muscles, and you see it rear its head back and open its gaping maw, and releases a black cloud, which floats its way over towards you. And you need to make a wisdom save.
Ooh, hi. 24.
24. So the black cloud descends over you. You see flashes of Faye just ripping apart Nidare, just tearing into her skin for a moment, and then you realize that it's trickery, that it's not real, and you shake off this feeling, and you ready yourself, unfazed by this clear, cheap trick, and it's your turn again.
Okay. I'm going to hit him again with the flame blade as my action. For I can't roll damage yet. For a 20 to hit.
Yeah.
And then 11 damage.
Okay.
And then I am going to turn into a bear.
A bear! Fantastic. Is that your whole turn?
Yeah, so I slash him across his I'm trying to reach his face. Can I reach his face? He's pretty tall.
You maybe do a jumping strike, and you manage to cut off a piece of its
okay, in that case, I jump up,
disfigured face,
and slash at its jaw with the fire blade, and then just let go, and it disappears. And then I'm changing into a bear, and I land on all fours as a bear.
The ground shakes a bit as your massive form hits it. This creature is going to sort of like arch its back and raise its claws above its head and shoot them straight down at you for 23 versus AC.
Yeah, that might hit a bear.
Might hit a bear. Okay, so that's
going
to
double what it takes to hit a bear. But
that's going to do you 10 slashing damage, and then you need to make a strength check.
Bear's got some strength.
Oh yeah.
But he rolls low for a 9.
Okay, so you are grappled, and now it's your turn.
Bear don't care, so the bear's grappled, and he's gonna be like, and just attack twice, and probably miss both with a 14 and an 8.
The 14 hits.
Okay, so the bite's gonna hit. So he's biting and clawing, and the bite hits for 8 damage, 8 piercing damage.
Okay. This creature looks just absolutely torn up, not in a good state at all. The creature is now going to float up to the ceiling with you grappled in its hands. It floats up 80 feet. This is a massive cave, and 80 feet in the air, and it's holding you there. And that's the end of its turn.
I'm a bear.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Okay, I'm just gonna try and kill him.
Okay.
So I'm in there. I can attack because I'm grappled, right?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna try and bite and claw and hope if we start falling, I can put him underneath me in some way. I'm bad at math. 15 and a really high roll of like
the 15 hits, so
25 to hit.
Yeah, both hit.
So the bites first for finally some damage. 13 damage on the bite.
Okay.
And 11 damage with the claws.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just
kill it.
I'm tearing into him. Okay, do you want me to try and... Is there a save I can make to try and, like, half my damage?
Nope.
Or we're just falling?
Okay. You're just falling 80 feet.
So then I just claw and bite him, and then I just... he kind of like...
Or 40 feet? How high did I say?
I think you said 80.
Yeah.
So
You're in trouble.
I claw and bite him to death, and then he just, like... I just lose grip, and I'm falling onto my bare back. So... I feel the wind going through my fur, and I hit cave ground, I think. Ooh, that's a lot of dice.
That's not all of them yet. Okay, so that is...
Oh my god.
You crash, you plummet 80 feet from the top of this massive cavern, falling straight down. I will give you a strength check to push yourself away from the Wendigo so it doesn't land on top of you.
21.
Okay, yeah, you succeed. You shove the Wendigo away from you so it doesn't crush you under its bulk. But you land in a heap on the cave floor, which deals you 36 bludgeoning damage.
So what you see happen is, like, the wild-shaped magic, like, explodes. And the bear form just, like, fur, like, just poofs out and then dispels as it was a magical form. And Crest is just coughing and bloody on the floor. Not unconscious, but he's himself and hurt.
Okay. You've managed to kill this beast, and that takes you out of initiative.
Okay. So Crest is going to cast... He's coughing, and his, like, stuff is a little bit scattered, so he, like, crawls over to his staff, and he's casting Cure Wounds on himself.
Okay. How long does it take you to cast Cure Wounds? Like, from the time that you've landed?
I'd say
immediately.
No, I mean it only takes like 6 seconds in game time. But I'm saying, like, he lands, he's coughing. It's probably like 30 seconds until he, like, hits his staff.
But right away though.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing he's trying to do is heal himself.
Okay. How you doing? How much HPs you got left?
I got, before Cure Wounds, I have 20.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well, I mean, but I took a blow of, like, the entire bear's HP, so
yeah.
I'm kind of saying it's really painful. Like, even if he's not dead, he is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, absolutely. A little hazy. And actually, in this pain-induced haze, I need you to roll a perception check.
It's a 6, which is the lowest I can roll.
Off in the distance, in one of the tunnels, you see a female figure. You don't know anything more other than the fact that it's definitely a female figure.
Do I see that before I cast?
No. This is after you've cast Cure Wounds, looking around, and the female figure seems to be walking towards you, but as soon as you look up, she turns and begins running off.
So I've actually on the ground. I grab my staff on the ground and I've like waved it, and I'm like it's really a messy casting. Like, I've, like, hit myself in the head with the staff and then healed a bit, and then I kind of get lucent and I see this, and I try to, like, get up and run toward it, but I just kind of scramble, you know, because I'm still just, the wind's knocked out of me, and I'm like, so I just kind of scramble on my knees, and I don't really make any distance, and then when I look up, I assume she's gone again.
She is she's down the tunnel, but roll. Do you want to like pursue this person?
If he sees a female, yeah, he's gonna pursue it.
Okay,
pretty much relentlessly.
Roll another perception check as you lose track of her and want to try and follow her again.
That's a 17 that time.
Okay, and actually that should be survival, so I don't know if that changes it.
Nope, same 17.
Great. So yeah, you see wet footprints left from, like, maybe a puddle in the cave, and you see them trailing off in a particular direction. You follow them?
Yeah, and full breakneck speed. So,
okay.
If there's any, like, stealth advantage on anything, again, I'm making as much. I'm not. Stopped carrying.
You actually have disadvantage on your perception.
Oh,
if that's what you want to do.
Well, if I know where I'm going, it's going to be breakneck speed. Otherwise, I'm going to stop and try to figure out where she went.
Okay.
That makes sense. His only goal is to follow her.
Okay.
That's it.
You can't really do that very fast. You're going to be going at a normal speed.
Okay.
If you want to be tracking.
In that case, he's going to be really just trying to track as hard as possible if he doesn't know exactly where she went.
Okay,
So,
so
like
the
looking,
opposite.
yeah, the opposite. Looking straight down at the floor, looking for footprints, any sign of movement. So
Okay.
basically, he stopped caring about his own skin, though. So he's not looking. His perception, if something's gonna attack it, he's not even. His focus is tunnel vision.
Yeah. Actually, that is what is going to happen. A 19 and a 17 versus AC.
Those are both gonna hit.
15 and 16 versus AC.
Okay, those are all. Well, no, 15 misses.
Okay.
But the 16
so,
hits.
So 3 of these are going to hit?
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, so that is 30 damage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you knocked unconscious?
No, I have 6 hit points left.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a lot.
Okay. So you can, I'll give you an option right now. We can roll initiative, and you can fight against these unseen attackers, or you can pass out.
I'm gonna say he's probably just gonna pass out. Like he just got the wind knocked out of him. He barely healed himself. He floored it towards her, and then he just gets attacked, and he's just so dazed and everything. It's
okay.
30 damage is too much to his system, and he just goes down.
Okay, so as you've been following this female form, you burst into you slowly wade your way into this room, and around a blind corner, 4 attacks just come flying towards you, and one of them flies over your head, but the other 3 connect solidly.
Are they like arrows or magic? Like, what does he feel?
It feels like what you might assume force damage feels like, as a number of blasts just careen into you.
My metachlorians go flying out of me.
And as you're knocked to the ground, you see 2 blue-skinned figures. As you fade out of consciousness, they come over to you and they pick you up and begin carrying you off into the caves deeper. And as you fade out to black for the last time, you see the figure of the woman who you've been chasing. Roll another perception check at disadvantage.
Oh, not bad. Would have been a 21. It's a 17.
17.
Yeah.
It's Nidore.
It. So he's gonna like cough and go like, he's gonna cough and try to like it's basically just gonna be like a little fireball appears in his hand and like puffs out like a little green. He's like, and then he's gonna pass out.
And as he does this, she reaches out and puts a hand on his face and says, "Shh." And that's where we're gonna end this episode.
Weird.
Questions, comments, concerns?
I don't know where to start. Cress has a lot of times where he just gets his ass beat up. Like, he's just like, I'm gonna run at this. I really want to find my wife. Oh, shit, I'm knocked out again.
Yeah.
That's what he's like. I mean...
I wasn't sure. I was worried that was going to feel terrible, but...
no, I think that's his character, like...
Well, it really makes sense for what the Fae are doing for them to behave this way, so...
the blue skin... Am I with Drow? Can I...
No,
maybe?
blue skin's a Fae thing.
Okay. Drow are, like, grayish, purplish...
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like albinos. These are not albinos. These are like blue skin Fae dudes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And Nitter... I'm torn. This might be an illusion, but everything... This seems like it's actually Nidore. All the...
No, you know it's Nidore.
Okay, so it's... Wow.
It's you're so excited you just destroy your mic.
Oh, yeah, I hit it. Well, I was closing the PHB, and it knocked right into my mic. Sorry. Well, that's a pretty big... Whoa. Okay, so I found her.
You found her. Or she found you. Who knows?
Whoa.
Ooh. No,
Maybe
you found her. Let's be real.
It's a complicated emotion. He's traveled through the valley of death to get to her, and then
the cave of death.
A lot of death. A lot of being. He's been to hell and back, and now
when the heat is on, you fire back.
Am I singing?
I was just now, but we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Maybe I'll cut that on out. There's so much that's gonna be cut out of this one. So you weren't curious about the Silvercrest Circle. I'm interested in that. They actually have an interesting story. I'll probably put it up on the wiki. I spent some time, just trying to figure out their motivations and who Sirio Silvercrest was as a person. And came up with a really interesting story, I think, but not really for Cress, I think.
Yeah, unless it's directly related to it's going to find Nidoray. He just wants to go... He knows she's in the caves. He wants to go deeper into the caves. And he's not really thinking, oh, this is a support system. He's thinking, I'm going to walk until something happens.
Calm down there, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Because you had to go deeper?
Oh.
It was an Inception joke.
I thought it was a Titanic joke. I don't know why.
I'll never let go?
Yeah, let's go,
you
right
drown.
after that.
You fucking drown, and the show's over. So next time we join back, you'll be doing some interesting conversating with your wife.
I'm gonna do some soul searching because Cress's most of Cress's find Nidoray, and now that he's done that,
he's unconscious, so he probably is not necessarily 100% aware of it.
He's having some really weird dreams.
I'm glad that you decided to pass out, because the alternative was that she walks up and punches you in the face, which I didn't want to happen.
I rolled really high on the heal, so I had 30-something hit points, 34, 36, I think.
Okay.
But to take 30,
I think I did those attacks wrong, but whatever. I mean, it's fine. I hope it didn't feel cheap to the viewers or to the listeners, but it is what it is. And maybe don't... Well, I guess I almost spoiled who was that attacked you. I'll keep that under wraps till next week. Until then, we just want to say thank you all very much for listening. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to help us out even more, please share this with your friends, with your family, coworkers, anyone who's interested in D&D. It's a growing hobby. I know that much. It's killing it for Wizards of the Coast. They're selling it.
It's fun too.
It's so fun.
If you guys are thinking oh, maybe it's not for me, there's a million different ways to play.
There's an infinite way. You're bounded by your imagination. How cool is that?
It took me forever to get into it, and it's my favorite hobby now. So
absolutely. If you don't want to share this because you're like, D&D's kind of nerdy, this is my thing that I keep to myself, that's cool. Just maybe leave us a review on iTunes. We'd really appreciate that.
We're on iTunes.
We are on
iTunes,
Stitcher. And Stitcher. Both of those places.
Really
for
nice
your convenient consumption.
To use your little mobile devices to
you're
listen.
All about that internet. Which
We're also just on our website, StudioLT3.com. You can find us on Twitter at StudioLT3 and Facebook.com/StudioLT3. We're always listening on those things. They make my phone buzz. So.
Bzz, bzz. And also, we want to say a big thank you to the peeps over at D6 Mafia for creating this wonderful, wonderful world, Threshold, which we get to play in, and for making a Wendigo so I don't have to do as much work. Thank you, Steven.
And a world. Don't forget the entire world.
Well, yeah, that too. You should definitely go and check out their stuff, d6mafia.com, youtube.com/the D6Mafia for the original Threshold. They are doing some cool stuff over there, and if you like this, you're going to like that.
We both love just audience suggestions and stuff. If you suggest a cool character, probably will end up showing up sometime.
You're not the DM. Don't put that promise out. No, I'm just kidding. Absolutely.
Here's the thing, though. If you suggest a character to Threshold Classic, make sure it starts with a D.
Absolutely.
Steven loves that.
In case you're wondering what a good name example might be, go for Deldrion Didion Donderic Dendorida. I crushed it that time.
That was good.
He crushed it that time.
And a devil.
A demon devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the second level of hell.
No, he's not from the second level of hell. He was originally, but then he was put in charge of guarding the D dimension, the dimension.
Oh, right, the dementia. He was exiled in disgrace from Dis.
Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you back next week.
Yep, see you then. Bye-bye.